Real Broker is about to take over the industry. When I joined in May, they were at 16,000 agents. 7 months later, they're almost at 24,000 agents. So why is it thousands upon thousands of agents are leaving their brokerages in droves and moving to Real Broker? Well, it isn't because it's EXP Lite, which is largely being touted in the industry. It's because of all of the reasons I'm about to go over in this video. Whether agents realize this or not, the overall health of a cloud brokerage company, or probably any company really, but especially cloud brokerages, is the success of the stock price appreciation. So as an example, right, all these cloud brokerages, or at least the two that I know well, have a stock buyback program, right? Where you pay a certain percent of your commission from each check into the stock of that company, and then that company will match a percentage of that amount that you contribute, and you're basically getting those shares for free for being a contributor into the stock buyback program. And then on top of that, if you do a certain amount of deals per year, you will hit whatever award they call it at that brokerage, and you will get a bunch of free stock back at, Real. It's you pay 12,000 cap and you get 16 grand back if you hit elite agent, which is about 500K GCI. The problem is that the stock doesn't actually appreciate and it goes down by the time those shares unvest. Well, what is the point of opting into the buyback program? What's the point of achieving these awards when you could have just kept your commissions, not pay a 12 grand cap, not opt into the stock buyback program, and done something else with your money, or worked at a cheaper brokerage that costs $5,000-$6,000 less per year? So a lot of the value that comes from these brokerages actually comes from the share price of the stock appreciating. And the problem with that is that if the company gets super saturated, let's just say they have 150,000 agents in North America, and it's really hard to bring new agents into the company. Well, if the bulk of your revenue, or most of your revenue, whatever you want to call it, is just coming from agents doing deals, then you need agents to do more deals, or you need to bring more agents on, which those are two things that are largely kind of out of your control, right? Like the agents doing more deals is kind of predicated on what the market does. And if you're super saturated in North America, well, it's going to be harder to bring on new agents, therefore harder to increase revenues year over year, therefore harder to get the stock to appreciate. So one thing Real Broker is doing to kind of combat this is they are now a fintech company. They are a banking and a technology company. They recently just launched Real Wallet, which you're going to get checking account, savings account, you're going to get paid interest on the money you keep in there. They're going to invest your money, get, profit the delta on that. I think in the States, they've already rolled out debit and visas. They collect a transaction fee when you use the Visa. You get points towards cap, deal fees, possibly even stock when you use the Visa. And then on top of that, they're issuing you a line of credit based on projected income, how much stock you have, and your rev share. And there are people literally right now in the States that have millions of dollars in real stock that are flipping homes on their real line of credit. They have a mortgage and title company, which are 6 to 8 times more profitable than the actual transactional real estate side of the company. And all of this is important because, like I said, if Real Broker were to get saturated at some point, as long as the wallet remains to be a sticky product, they can increase profits through the banking side of the company, which should increase revenue every year, which should increase the share price of the stock. And then it makes sense to be opted into the stock buyback program. It makes sense to hit elite agent. Everything within the company makes sense. The model makes sense. Because what you don't want is the stock to be down 5, 6, 7 years, year over year. And then you're going to have nobody opting into the buyback program. It's not going to make sense to hit elite agent. And then you can run into a scenario where everybody stops opting into that, and then you have much less buyer demand for the stock, and then it kind of creates a free fall where the stock just keeps falling and falling and falling, and I don't even really know what would happen in that scenario. So Real is kind of doing what Starbucks did, right? Starbucks issued gift cards. You put $100 on that gift card, you get points towards your next coffee. Starbucks gets to take your $100 and invest it somewhere else, and then Starbucks makes money on the money that you use to buy their coffee, which also makes them money. Same thing Mark Zuckerberg did with hey, let's build the network, right? We're going to build Facebook, and then we'll introduce ads after once the network is big enough. So Real kind of did the same thing. Let's build it out. Yes, we're not very profitable with a $12,000 cap. It's super cheap, but we can monetize it with this after the fact. Next, RealBroker's AI is getting very scary. So because RealBroker has a proprietary dashboard that they built out using their own money and their own people, everything, all your transactions uploaded in one place with one login. They now have Leo, which is basically ChatGPT, integrated into that dashboard. So now when you sell a home, when that listing goes firm, it will automatically, if you want it to, generate a just sold photo for you right in the dashboard. By Q1 of next year, you are going to get an AI generated phone number, which listens to the way that you talk to your clients, the way you text them, the way whatever. It's going to sound exactly like you. What you're going to be able to do is a client calls you, hey, I'm just going into a meeting, text my assistant Dave. They text Dave. Dave is AI, sounds like you, he talks like you, so they don't even realize that they're talking to AI. This client is going to be like, hey, I was just looking for a 3-bedroom that's $400,000 in Boston. This AI assistant is going to scrub the internet, find the listings, send it to the client for you, and start to qualify the client for you. And because, again, this AI is integrated into the dashboard, let's just say one of your current clients was like, hey, how much was the deposit again for blah, blah, blah address? It should be able to scrub the dashboard, pull that deposit, and send it to the client. Now, again, I am speculating because this isn't actually live at the moment, but the way AI works is it expands exponentially. The more data you give it, the more it learns, the better it becomes, the more people that want to use it, the more people that use it, the more data it collects, the better it becomes, the more people that want to use it. And that's why it's kind of like a flywheel that grows at an exponential rate. And I'm willing to bet pretty soon in the future here, you're going to be able to just upload your client's IDs into it and be like, hey, make me a listing package for these 2 people. And it might just be able to populate all the documents for you and save you a lot of time. Now, this is big stuff. Because if any other brokerage even wanted to start in the AI space, well, they're already basically 2+ years behind in collecting data to train their AI system. So it's going to be very difficult to catch up to RealBroker in that segment of the market. And here's the thing with technology. If you look in the technology space, any company who was one of the first who did it really well has a monopoly on that space. Meta, Apple, Nvidia, any company that was first and did it very well basically have a monopoly on that entire space. And this is exactly why I feel like RealBroker has the potential to have a monopoly in the real estate industry. If their AI gets as good as what it's supposed to get, you are going to be playing at a massive disadvantage in comparison to agents who are at RealBroker if you are not at RealBroker. If this AI assistant can get so smart that it literally replaces your assistant, it knows how to communicate with the client better, it communicates faster, and it doesn't cost anything. That leaves you at a pretty big disadvantage if this plays out like it is supposed to. Now, the next thing why I think RealBroker has a leg up on other RevShare style companies is the fact that RealBroker offers a co-sponsorship program. And this keeps the space much more collaborative, and it makes it so if you wanted to grow a RevShare organization, you pretty much never lose agents, because if an agent has been talking to 10 different people, there's almost always a way to set it up where it's like, hey, this person's in your network, okay, this person's in your third tier of that network. Let's just set up a co-sponsorship between that guy, and then it goes all the way up and everyone gets paid. And the other thing I love about it, at RealBroker, you're not expected to like give people coaching programs and courses and masterminds and all this stuff. RealBroker does all of that, but it's done at the brokerage level. They have an entire university dashboard where all this stuff is happening every day. So all the agents that come and join me at my RevShare organization, I just look at myself like I'm the cherry on top of the business, but like I'm not going to be giving you one-on-one coaching every single day, right? And what I love about this is my business doesn't change at all. I still sell real estate. I still do the same thing I was doing at my last brokerage, but now I have a RevShare organization of like 80 agents that I don't really have to, it's not a second job for me, because let's just say a new agent comes to me who wants to join the brokerage and I can't help them. Hey, listen, man, you want to join? That's awesome. You need a lot of help. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a co-sponsorship with this person over here who runs a team who's willing to help you. So I still get paid. That guy who runs the team also gets paid, and the agent gets serviced properly. Instead of me having to, just take this agent on because I don't want to lose the recruit, and then me not being able to fulfill on what the agent actually needs, the co-sponsorship program is amazing to make sure that everybody gets serviced properly, everybody gets paid, and it allows me to collaborate with agents that are not even in my network, which I do often. I throw events with Agents who are good on YouTube, agents who are good at cold calling, agents who are good at running ads that aren't even in my network, well, we can throw an event together. And then anybody who wants to come join Real after that, you just set up a co-sponsorship, everybody's happy. So the way I look at it is like, you're not even really a recruiter, you are just an affiliate marketer for the brokerage, right? Because at the end of the day, the brokerage is still gonna fulfill on the service. I'm just the one who introduced you to the service. So all that being said, if you're interested in learning more about Real and potentially want to work with me in doing that, you can book a call with me down in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.